What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Beyond the Grave Media. This is Josh. You're checking in on you out there in YouTube land, and we got another heavy. This is Beyond the Grave After Dark. We just did the Poughkeepsie tapes, and I'm just going to read the back of this film. A heavy one of the top 10 zombie movies of all time, the hottest horror flick of the year, goes places few horror movies dare to go, supremely disturbing and immediate. Horror classic Deadgirl will remind you of the best of Cronenberg, cleverly written, stylishly directed, and morbidly fascinating. This is a movie. Deadgirl. Revolting, shocking, disturbing, gross, torture, revenge, sadistic, shameful, depressing, loathsome, uncomfortable, exploitation, juvenile. Yes. Say what you will about the teen comedies and coming-of-age stories in the 90s and early 2000s, but they did have a formula that worked. Unfortunately, the makers of Deadgirl did not get the memo. Instead, we are introduced to our male protagonists who are leery, creepy, lurchy, and awkward. The bad boys from the wrong side of the tracks that even the edgelords won't mess with. These miscreants are desperate, and they look and probably smell. There's something to be said about desperation in this flick, and how low would you go if you are a struggling, ostracized weirdo? Not strange enough for the nerds, and not athletic enough for the jocks, trapped in some sort of dork purgatory that guarantees your hormones will keep you from getting laid. Let's cue some poor parenting, and remember, no coming-of-age flick is complete without copious amounts of coarse tall boys, non-ironic mullets, and loose-rolled tobacco. It's been decided that we have to follow our leads into the bowels of some abandoned hospital straight out of Session 9. These two dickheads have to haze each other, throw rocks, become vandals, and give each other a broed-up nut tap. Seriously. This is supposed to be your friend, but you treat him this poorly? I never understood that. Bullying side of my friends group will get your ass kicked, where I come from. But anyway, let's explore these hallways and dead ends. What do we find? Well, covered in some sort of cellophane plastic is a female who's bound to a hospital bed, gagged and stripped nude. She's barely coherent and trapped. That's the important thing to remember. She doesn't get a choice with her circumstances. You can only imagine where this story goes, and boys will be boys, and it's going to be tough sledding from this point forward. Consent is no longer a thing, and it's going to be a hard watch. What's unfortunate, or fortunate depending on where you stand on the subject matter, is that this film is made really, really well. The colors, the angle, the sound design, it all works. It's a nasty flick that has to be seen to be believed. She's some kind of monster, but she's our monster. These thoughts and reasonings are what make this a real horror movie in every sense of the word. It makes you feel something, and that something is bad. So, is this a zombie film? Some sort of reanimated flesh, horned up necrophile? Is this for you? Most likely, this film is going to ruin your Thanksgiving dinner. Absolutely. Is it the most disturbing? I don't know. What does it remind you of? Maybe Last House on the Left, I Spit on the Grave? No. Edgier. Hostile. Tux. Headless Torso. Human Centipede. We're getting closer. Salo, a Serbian film. Whoa. Easy. What year is it? Deadgirl lands somewhere between The Girl Next Door, Necromantic, Megan is Missing, maybe even something from Toe Tag Pictures. However, your user mileage may vary. This is an unearthed film release, and after all, this thing and these people are going to be called evil and vile, and boy, oh boy, Deadgirl is. So is Deadgirl for you? Is this the kind of movie that I think you're going to enjoy? Well, I think that kind of depends. Are you one of those people that, you watch Saw, or you watch Hostel, or even something like Tusk, and just like the body horror and just like someone getting their arm chopped off is going to be too much for you? There's not a ton of that in this movie, but what there is copious amounts of teenagers and boys being boys, and it's got heavy PTSD and trauma involved, and a lot of assault, unfortunately. A ton. And it sucks because this movie was recommended to me, and I understand why, because this thing is made really, really well. It looks really good. It is shocking for shock's sake, and it's not going to be for everybody. This will ruin your holiday meal. Absolutely. Not going to recommend it. If you have kind of a strong stomach and you can get through things like Last House on the Left and I Spit on Your Grave, this is still more brutal than that. By a lot. Is it as disturbing as something like, Martyrs, Inside, Salo? I don't think so. I think that it's got kind of like this glossy grime to it that kind of makes it like more palatable in some weird way. It's not going to be for everybody, though. You're not going to want to watch this with somebody. It's not a first date movie. Not at all. Unless that person is really into torture, being bound up, dude. But if you're still here and that didn't scare you away, and you kind of are familiar with unearthed films, and you like my channel, and you're into kind of some of these dark recess mind flicks, there is something really good about this movie. There's something inside here that's worth watching. There's a ton of extras as well. This is a great release. If you're familiar with Toe Tag and the dudes over at Unearthed Films, they do a damn good job on packaging, and they're usually pretty affordable. August Underground, all that kind of American guinea pig stuff. These are not for everybody, but if you can get through it, this isn't going to be as shocking as, say, something like, I don't know, a Serbian film or something like that, but it's gonna look similar because it's made around the same time frame, and it kind of feels like not another teen comedy wrapped around a bunch of revenge, torture porn type of stuff. So there's crazy music. It's got this weird grimy sheen to it. It's a party movie it's not for everybody. And sometimes you can buy this thing, like even digitally, if you're not going to be one of those physical media heads. I think I paid $3 to own it because not a lot of people like it. I'm weird. If you want to see more from me, are you weird too? Dude, you're in the right place. We got a ton of cool new stuff coming up for Oktoberfest. Like, comment, subscribe. Have you seen Deadgirl? Would you recommend it to your grandmother? Probably not. What do you think of it? Follow me on social media and gear up for a lot more content. I appreciate you being here. Take care of yourselves. Cheers.